We're live. All right.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special edition, NFC Championship edition of is it inside is this inside the trenches? Is that what we called it?
Yeah, in the trenches.
Inside the trenches live. All right. First of all, before we get into anything else, the very first thing we need to do is talk about the fact that I am wearing a Packers shirt.
Oh, I love it. Hell yeah. Let's go.
All I want in this game is for Tom Brady to lose. That's it. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing more. Nothing less. I just want Tom Brady to lose. And what the fuck are the Packers doing to us right now?
It's the defense, man. They're getting torched in the secondary. Kevin King and Chandler. I mean, if you've looked, Jair Alexander's allowed no catches. But Kevin King and Chandon Sullivan are getting destroyed. And that deep ball is killing them. I've liked the pressure that they're getting in the backfield. I like that they've somewhat been able to shut down Tampa Bay's run game, except for that one touchdown run by Leonard Fournette. Outside of that, they haven't really been able to run the football on us. Green Bay's offensive line, specifically Billy Turner, needs to play better. He's getting bullied by Jason Pierre-Paul, and that's why JPP's got 2 sacks, even though, I'm a diehard Packers fan. I love Jason Pierre-Paul. He's one of my favorite players in the NFL. And, I mean, ultimately, Green Bay's got to look at themselves and say, are we ready to win a Super Bowl or not? And you're going in, you're down 21-10 at the half. You get the ball back. You're putting Aaron Rodgers back on the field. That interception was clear and obvious holding. I don't understand how that doesn't get called. I think Rodgers was kind of looking for the flag, and I think he kind of threw it because he seen the hold. But outside of that, I mean, Green Bay's just got to put it together. They got to play better in the second half, and luckily they've been a second half team this year. As far as trying to put away games or come from behind, but it's a true testament to what this team's made of. It is just going to be how they play in the second half. So I'm excited to see.
So the most concerning thing so far in this game is the fact that Tampa Bay is 7 for 10 on third down.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they're 0-2 in the last 3 minutes there, but 7 for 10. That's huge. And obviously the biggest issue is the fact that they just let Scotty Miller torch them for 39 yards on a touchdown with, 4 seconds to go? 3 seconds to go?
Kevin King got destroyed on that route.
There was absolutely zero reason you let a wide receiver over the top of you as a defense in that situation.
Yeah, I don't know what you call a timeout right before. Sorry, my camera's. You call a timeout in that situation, and you're thinking that means that you're seeing that the offense is changing the play, so you're changing your defense accordingly. And you've seen Scotty Miller come in there, so you kind of had to have that inkling that maybe they're going to take a shot downfield. Maybe Tom's just going to throw one up to see what happens, and sure enough, he does. And it's just Green Bay. Kevin King specifically wasn't ready for it. But I mean, I think there's a lot of football left. This game is far from over. Green Bay is going to get the ball back and start the second half. And
they have to score. That's a must-score situation.
They have to score, absolutely.
The Packers defense is keeping Tom Brady from throwing deep. He only has 2 balls through the air that have gone for over 20 yards. Everything else has gone for over 20 yards after being caught after 5.
Right.
Which is a huge problem. So they're playing short ball, but they're getting all the rack.
Yeah, and I thought that Rodgers, I mean, outside of the interception, which I'm not counting because it was clear and obvious holding.
I fully agree.
I thought he looked with the pressure that's been in his face this game. I think he's looked great. I mean, he's been responding to the pressure, finding guys open, getting Mercedes Lewis and Marquez Valdez-Scantling involved. What did you say? Tampa Bay should have
gotten called for. Yeah, does not excuse Green Bay for allowing Scotty Miller to get a TD with seconds left.
100%.
So real quick, in a quarterback comparison, we have Brady, who's 13 for 22 with 202 yards and 2 touchdowns. Rodgers is 14 for 19 with a 169, a touchdown, and an interception. We've already established the interception should have been called back. There was no reason. How are the refs that blind?
Well, because Tom Brady's on the field, but that's a topic for another day.
That's definitely a topic for another day, but I fully agree with you. The problem is we have this conversation every single week. There is one call where you can unanimously say in every game, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah,
that was this call.
They missed the hold on Alan Lazard there, and they also missed a hold on Kenny Clark earlier in the game. I don't know if you saw it, but Ryan Jensen, the center of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, just kind of grabs Kenny Clark right underneath the shoulder pads and just drives him completely into the ground.
Well, even so, the very first touchdown that Mike Evans got, the entire left side of the line jumped.
Yeah.
And there was no call on that. Instantly, before he even threw it, I was like, oh, penalty. They both the guys on the left side jumped, and then all of a sudden, Tom Brady's throwing a touchdown.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, it's
the refs are,
when you play Tom Brady, that maybe we're looking at this the wrong way. We had always said that home field advantage for Green Bay was going to be good because maybe they'll get more calls than what there is used to for Tom Brady. But how maybe the NFL wants Tom Brady to have home field advantage for a Super Bowl. Maybe that's what the plan is. Maybe if that's the ideal situation, then maybe that is what they think is going to bring in the most ratings. I know personally for me, that's not that exciting, but I don't know. It looks like that they've missed a few really blatant calls. I'm surprised that Matt LaFleur was even able to get that challenge successfully reversed because I didn't know if they were even going to give him that. So we shall see going into the second half if the refs continue to turn a blind eye to completely obvious penalties.
Murphy Bunting does have 3 interceptions in 3 games. Regardless of that, shouldn't have been an interception. He's really coming onto his own in this postseason, proving that he is the star that we thought he would be.
Yeah, he is.
Kenny Clark on the defense has 5 tackles and a sack, but that doesn't. JPP has 3 tackles and 2 sacks.
Yeah. Yeah.
You mentioned the rushing game. Yes, you mentioned the rushing game of Tampa Bay, but Green Bay's rushing game isn't doing much better.
Correct. They seem to find their footing a little bit down the stretch in the second quarter. They were hitting on Aaron Jones runs, and then that drive that they settled for a field goal after when Devontae couldn't get his feet down in the back of the end zone. They were running the ball very well on that drive. I really think that they should have focused on running the ball inside while they had the momentum there instead of trying to bang it to the corners. Because I think Tampa Bay kind of read that and knew what they were trying to do with getting Devontae open in some space. So I think Green Bay is going to have to score extremely early and quickly in this third quarter. And then you got to get a stop on this Bucs offense. And then you have to learn how to bully football. You have to bully the football down the field. You got to get Aaron Jones involved. You got to get Jamal Williams involved. You got to get A.J. Dillon involved. You're going to have to run the ball down their throats to get that passing game loosened up a little bit so that Rodgers can make some plays downfield.
The Green Bay Packers currently have 9 rushes for 42 yards, and that's opposed to the 8 for 38 that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are running right now. So they're very close in the run game, but the difference comes in that pass game where Tom Brady's just torching the secondary. And again, the secondary minus Alexander. I thought that Rodgers was going to go. I thought Rodgers was going to go over the top, go straight against Edwards once we heard Winfield was out today. That has not happened.
Yeah. No,
he hasn't been targeting Edwards at all. Scantling.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely going to have to look a little bit different for Green Bay on offense coming out into the second half. You're going to have to take some more shots downfield. You're going to have to get guys open in space. And like I said, you're going to have to run the football because you have to keep Tom and that offense off the field.
Do you think Green Bay can pull this off?
I do. I don't think this game is anywhere close to over yet.
So the biggest red flag for me right now for Green Bay is the 7 for 10 on third down. If they can't stop them on third down, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
They're going to
Any
have to
final
be better
thoughts
on
before we
third
get to the second half?
down. I got nothing. I'm just ready to watch the game.
All right. Well,
Go, Pack,
everybody,
go.
we might be back at the end of the game. We'll probably be back at the end of the game. And then again at halftime for the AFC Championship game. Tune with us all day, guys. We'll be back.
There, guys.